We are finally tackling this bathroom this weekend. We all have been pretty sick the past couple days. So I'm going to, today's Friday, so I'm just gonna clean all the counters off. I'm going to clean all this off. I'm going to take down the towel racks. Just give everything a clean slate so I can paint. I need to paint the baseboards and the trim. We're going to take down this mirror. I'm going to wait for Davey to do that because I don't think I can do it by myself because we're putting 2 individual mirrors up. I'm going to paint the walls. They're going to actually stay white, but I just got a fresh coat of ultra white because when I painted this when we moved in years ago, it was kind of like a yellow, I don't know, it was like a dingy white, and I never loved it. So I'm just going to go ahead and repaint it with ultra white, and then we are going to also, today if I have time, I'm going to take off these knobs. These are original to whenever this vanity was put in. I'm going to take these off, respray them with the same color kind of brass, but it's matte, so I don't know. I forgot that it was matte. But anyways, it's a brass color. So we'll spray them. We'll see if anything, I'll go back and get like a shiny gold color, but I didn't want them to look too like yellow, you know what I mean? So I got this sunlit brass color, which will match our new faucet fixtures. Those are gonna get updated. These are just super old and dingy. So yeah, if I have time, I'm gonna take these off. This is gonna get sanded down. I'm just gonna put a new coat of polyurethane on it. I really would like to stain these a different color, but I don't have it in me to just strip all of this and restain it. So we're just gonna sand it down and hopefully just give it a new finish, like a new coat, make it shiny somewhat again. So that's what we're doing. I'm gonna do all this so this weekend when Davey's home, we can just take down this mirror. And I got wallpaper. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do that in the toilet room yet or not. I kind of like it just white, but I think it would be cool, like an interesting pop of character, like seeing wallpaper in that room. I don't know. We're gonna start with like a statement wall behind the toilet, and then we'll see if we like the whole thing. But that is what I'm gonna do. I'm also taking down this cafe curtain. I think when I hung it, I was supposed to hang it like right here and have it blocking this. So I'm gonna take that down. It's silver. I'm just gonna spray paint it that brass color that I have, that I got for the knobs, and I'm gonna readjust it and move it down here. I think I'm gonna keep the curtain. Now there's nothing really wrong with it, and it's kind of cute. So I'm gonna take that down. I'm gonna hang new hooks right there. And yeah, I got a new bath mat. I got some new towels. So I really wanted to transform this space into like a resort or hotel bathroom. So we are gonna do that. And yeah, I'll take you guys along.
What you putting in? All your hopes and efforts are all in vain. Who will pick you up when you've lost everything? Does it all become for granted with a wedding?
Let's all just take a minute and laugh at me thinking that I could get this done in a weekend, let alone a couple days. I always start a project so eager. Sorry about my voice, by the way. I am recovering from being sick yet again. I always start so eager with these projects, and I love the outcome, but it's just in the thick of it. So many little things pop up that are not part of the plan, that just set you back time and days, and this is just one of them. This was filling all the holes from having things hanging on the walls And so you have to fill them, you have to sand it, you gotta wait for it to dry, and then sometimes you have to fill them again, sand again, and wait to dry. So it's just a tedious little process, and this is just one of the many things that we ran into, and I will show you that throughout this video, that we ran into that just was not part of the project. We did have new floors put in. If you saw my last vlog and the one before that, we had new floors put in. So they put new tile in our bathrooms, and with that they did new quarter round, and it was just time to freshen up the baseboards, give them a new fresh coat of paint. So I just went ahead and did that. It really made everything pop and just added that final like finishing touch to our new floors. And then I went ahead and painted all of the trim as well.
So, alright, let me call you back.
All right.
What are you making for dinner? I'm hungry.
I'm not really hungry yet. I'm painting right now.
You're painting what?
The bathroom.
Oh, are you really?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
What?
I thought we liked the white.
It is white, honey. I'm just redoing I'm touching up the white.
I thought you were gonna paint the floorboards.
I did. And painting is just not one of my favorite things. This room is not that big. Well, it's a big bathroom, but the wall space, you know, considering that there's closets and windows and such, I was like, there's not really much to paint. But once you get into it, even though I'm painting white on white, it was so thin. I needed to do like 2 or 3 coats, and then you have to go around all the outlet switches, around all the closets. So it's always funny because I always am eager to start a project, and my husband laughs at me, but I'm like, come on, it'll just take us a couple hours of painting, and you get into it and 2 hours have passed and you don't even have half of it done, and then you have to do a second coat. So I don't love painting. We did a lot of painting this weekend. We redid my daughter's room, and it was just very tedious. But I do like how this white turned out. It was white on top of white, but it was a brighter, more fresh, clean white. So I also wanted to redo all of these handles that were on our vanity. They are original. The old owners custom made this vanity, which I love. And they put in these knobs, which were like kind of an antique brass, but they definitely needed to be repolished or refinished, as well as the finish on the vanity. It needed just touched up. It had been aging over time and it was just in need of some more polyurethane. But this is another one of the projects that just was not on the agenda, and you'll see what happens in just a little bit. The hardware on the vanity, I wanted to keep that same brass color. I just wanted to refinish them a little bit. They had been aged over time, and so I got an antiqued brass look, and it was just looking very gray and very flat. So I went back to Lowe's and I got an antiqued gold, which still wasn't a great match, but it definitely looked better than the bronze color that I got. So in the end, it honestly all turned out pretty well. All right, so I really thought we could just lightly sand this so I could just put a little clear coat over it where it's wearing in some areas. And so we started sanding it, and now I think we're in it. I don't know if we're gonna have to paint it or what, but I don't know if I just made a mistake. This is like the point in the project where I'm like, what am I even doing? Why am I doing this? So I hope it turns out okay, because they were fine before, but I didn't really want to change them. I just wanted to refinish them. So not even refinish, I just wanted to reseal them, I guess. So yeah.
Sunsets in my
One of the things that I was most excited about was removing this really long, I want to call it a builder grade mirror, from our bathroom and placing 2 individual mirrors over our sinks. When we removed it, it was so heavy, and they had put it on here with like this really thick tar material, and I was like, how the heck am I going to get this off? This was not part of the plan yet again. So I was using a screwdriver to try and like just pop it off, like pry it off the wall, and it was stuck on there real good. So when we had removed it all, it took chunks out of our drywall, and my husband was trying to problem solve. We were trying to sand it down as best we could, but it had taken like chunks out of our drywall, which was going to be exposed. We couldn't hide that, so we had to think of a solution. So we sanded it down as best we could, and we used that putty that I used earlier to fill holes. We used that to kind of level it out, fill the holes, fill the uneven spots. And then my husband went to Lowe's and found this drywall texture spray, which was amazing. I'm going to link it down below in case you ever have a problem like this. This stuff is awesome. You just spray it on, and it gives you the same texture of that drywall. And it made it look seamless, because once you sand it down, you patch it and you sand it, it takes away that texture. So we would have had like these dull flat spots on our wall, if that makes sense. So this texture spray was amazing. It dried super quick. I could go ahead and paint over it, and it made it look like drywall, and you cannot tell that we had chunks out of our drywall. It was really amazing. So I'm definitely going to link that down below if you have this problem or do in the future. This is awesome stuff. After we had spent so much time sanding, it was just taking forever, and it was kind of coming off uneven, so we decided to try this citrus strip stripping gel. And so that took about 2 coats. This was just something else that we had not planned on doing. This was going to stay exactly how it was. We had no problem with that, but trying to just sand off the little areas turned into a big problem. So we were kind of forced to just go ahead and strip the whole vanity. And this took a very long time. If anyone ever tells you that a DIY project takes a minimal amount of time, and especially if they have kids, that is not the truth. It took us a very long time, probably like a week and a half to really finish this vanity. It was just something that we had not planned on doing, so we were kind of dreading it, and it took forever to strip and sand and get it down as best we could. So the gel worked okay. It kind of took off the top layer of the seal, but it still left most of the stain underneath. So we stripped it, and then we went back and sanded it the best we could. It's not perfect by any means. And then we picked out a stain color. My husband stained it. Once we had stained it, we saw all the areas that we hadn't taken off the varnish, so it was leaving it kind of like a funny color. So he had to go back and sand that again and then restain. So man, this was just a labor of love, and it was just not part of the plans, but it turns out okay in the end. And then once we realized we had painted the white walls and the white trim, our doors were looking pretty dingy yellow. So I had to go ahead and give those a fresh coat of paint too. I'm really glad I did, because it just really updated them and made it pop. But the thing that I was the most excited for was putting this wallpaper up in the bathroom. I had the plan to do the entire toilet room. So that's kind of like what you see when you walk in. It was just like a pop of pattern and interest. So I thought I had ordered enough. And when we started hanging it, which it was relatively easy to hang, it was pretty easy, especially if you have 2 people helping out. I thought I had ordered enough for the entire room. It's a small room, and a lot came on a roll, but I ended up only having enough for 1 wall, which was okay, because the accent wall is really what my husband had suggested. So it wasn't super overwhelming when you were in there, and it turned out good. And here he is fixing all my mistakes once again. This is a very frequent theme throughout this video and my other DIY videos. He always gets roped into doing these, but it turned out really good, so make sure you stick around to see how it all turns out. Finally, we are getting to the cleanup, and I did not want to decorate or add any of the final finishing touches until everything was done, like the painting, the staining, the wallpaper, all that stuff. I refused to let myself decorate or add all like the exciting touches until it was all done, because I wanted us to be motivated to just finish it, and I love adding these finishing touches. It really just brings it all together.
Jump into the car on a Friday night. I wanna drive with you. Looking for a bar in the nearest town. I've never seen a sky so blue. We don't ever.
Is this your quiet time?
Mm-hmm. Sure is.
The night is young. It doesn't matter what we do. There ain't nobody like. There ain't nobody like. You look so beautiful. And I'm so lucky to be yours. And you're taking me high. Ain't nobody like you. I'm not coming down. Ain't nobody like you. I could go 1,000 miles as long as I'm with you. Yeah, you're taking me high. Ain't nobody like you. Talking by yourself and you make me smile. I can listen all night long. I tell you about the time when I first met you, listening to our favorite song. Walking on the street when you caught my eyes, something about the way you move. No, there ain't nobody like. There ain't nobody like. So lucky to be yours. And you're taking me high. Ain't nobody like you. I'm not coming down. Ain't nobody like you. I could go 1,000 miles as long as I'm with you. Yeah, you're taking me high. Ain't nobody like you. Ain't nobody like you. Ain't nobody like you.
I know I probably am hanging this cafe curtain wrong, and it's probably the wrong length, but I already had it and I just wanted to repurpose it. I was going to get a Roman shade for in here, but I really love the light that comes through, and they're already frosted glass windows, so I wasn't too concerned with covering anything up. So I just went ahead and repurposed that cafe curtain. I just hung it down below rather than up top, and I really love the whole look. And then my husband has these two shelves over here for his area. This is all his stuff, and usually they're out on these shelves that he had built, but I wanted to contain the clutter, so I got these baskets off of Amazon. I'll link them down below for you, but it did a great job of holding a lot of his stuff, and it just tidied up the space a lot better, and I love the coastal vibe that it brought in. Something else that I didn't plan on getting was these apothecary jars. I already have some amber glass ones that I got from the Magnolia home line, the Hearth and Hand ones from Target a long time ago, but they were starting to get all scratched up and the amber was fading on them, so I purchased these clear plastic ones on Amazon. I will link them down below. I wanted to be able to easily see everything that was in the jars and just put them in these clear containers so we could just see them a lot better. But I like how it kind of updated the look of it. It gave it more of like a hotel feel. So they're plastic. I kind of wish that they were glass, but they do the job, and I really like how it turns out.
Everything feels like art, yeah. When I give you every part of me, I can't believe this is reality. And now you're laying next to me. Everything feels like art, yeah. I'm just curious. When did you know you had feelings for me? Maybe somehow we've always known that we have chemistry.
So because I didn't order enough wallpaper to do the entire toilet room, I had just enough to do that accent wall, but I did have a strip left over, and I was also struggling to find art to go above the tub, and I wanted to incorporate something really coastal and beachy, so I took a strip of that leftover wallpaper, and I had this frame that I got from Ikea on clearance, and I was gonna frame some of my wedding flowers, but I took that extra wallpaper and it fit absolutely perfect in this frame, and I love how it turned out. I totally recommend, if you wallpaper anything in your home and you have leftover, save the scraps, because you can make such a cool gallery wall, and it just ties in the same theme. I love that it brought the birds from the toilet room out into the tub. It just ties the whole thing together, and it turns out really awesome.
Even in my wildest dreams. Oh yeah. Even in my wildest dreams, I didn't think we were destined to be. And now you're laying next to me. Everything feels like oh yeah. Wanna give you every part of me. I can't believe this is reality. And now you're laying next to me. Everything feels like oh yeah.
I'm so thankful for my handy husband who replaced all the faucets in the bathroom. It just took it to the next level. And we also replaced the can light above the tub with a chandelier that I found on Facebook Marketplace, brand new, for 20 bucks. I'm going to give you another refresher of the bathroom before, just to refresh your memory of how it looked, and then we are going to show you the after. I can't believe how different it looks, and it just feels like a luxury bathroom now.
Hey, you're good at making me lose my mind, but I always come around, don't I? And I know sometimes I'm bringing you down, but I always make you smile, don't I? We're like the waves on a big blue stormy sea. But still you're the one who brings out the best in me. We're a little messed up, baby, kinda up and down, and we keep falling till we hit the ground, but then we get back up again. Yeah, we're a little messed up, baby, it's never getting boring when we keep aiming for the stars, just you and me. We always get back up again. You and me. Baby, you and me. There is no one else who can make me feel like I can do anything I dream of but you. We can fight all day and make love at night, 'cause we always figure it out, don't we? Yeah. Yeah, we're like the waves on a big blue stormy sea. We're a little messed up, baby, kinda up and down, and we keep falling till we hit the ground, but then we get back up again. Yeah, we're a little messed up, baby, it's never getting boring when we keep aiming for the stars, just you and me. We always get back up again. You and me. You and me. Baby, you and me. You always leave me wanting more. Baby, you and me, we're like the perfect storm, and you know that I can't get enough of you, no. Yeah, we're a little messed up, baby, kinda up and down, and we keep falling till we hit the ground, and then we always get back up again. We're a little messed